Hey everyone, if you want to listen to the cast and I record the actual play sessions live, then you can. All you need to do is head on over to the Complex Action Patreon page and become a patron at the $3 level or higher and join the Shadowcasters Discord. It's really, really simple. After you've done the Patreon thing, then go on over to complexaction.net and click on the Discord link at the top of the page. That'll get you set up on Discord, and an invitation will be sent to you through the email to the Shadowcasters Discord server. Now, then you gotta get Patreon and Discord linked together, but it's super simple. Go to your Patreon settings page. It's in the account settings. It'll tell you plain as day right there about Discord. You click a button and it handles the rest. Anyway, once you're there, you should be able to see our backstage rooms for complex action stuff. If you're at the $3 behind the scenes level, you'll see a spoilers actual play channel there as well, and that's where you would listen live. It's really exciting. We're really super looking forward to trying this out for people. If you can't see those things, then either get in touch with me or one of the other hosts that are on the Discord server, or, everybody's super friendly over there, so you could ask anybody and they'll help you get in touch with me so that I can help fix it for you. I hope you guys are interested. If not, no big deal. It's still coming out as a podcast, and you'll be able to listen to it normally. So anyway, all right, on with the show. You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. A terrorist compound burned down, a dozen or so dead racists, and a handful of brainwashed orcs rescued. The team begin to take a step back and process what happened and wonder if it was worth it. Then, they get a very important phone call. Could they be moving up in the world? Now please enjoy episode 26, Snakeoil.
Yeah, Elric's going to rest up for a bit, and he's probably not going to want to talk to anybody until another day after, unless someone calls him up. But a couple days later, he'll start reaching out to people.
Yeah, I think Throwback is going to keep to himself tomorrow and probably just go to the park with his dog. But the following day, he's going to probably go to Elric's house with a couple boxes of frozen burritos.
I imagine I'm spending most of the day just being really sore and bruised.
Pillar's gonna make sure Elric's good to go, and then once he seems like he's sleeping and alright, she's gonna just head home and crash herself.
And I know at least the next day, Payday would have probably been rounding up the pickups and bringing them back and stashing them under some tarps.
Yeah, I kind of picture while Pillar's driving Elric back to his house, just sort of sitting there in this sullen, somewhat awkward silence. Unless Pillar brings something up, but Elric is just gonna probably not talk.
Sounds like a lot of guilt going on there.
Just need to stop pissing off your sister.
I don't try to. I want to be a good brother, but sometimes I just have to watch the world burn.
Good one. All right. Well, the next day, Elric Throwback is going to arrive with a box of reimbursement frozen burritos.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, so you hear a knock at the door, and if you open it, I'm just sitting there with two reasonable sized boxes on my lap.
Yeah, I walk up and just open up the front door of my house without any strange paranoid preparations like a dumbass. I just kind of look at you bleary-eyed.
I think I owe you a couple. And my microwave broke.
Sure, come on in.
Throwback will come in and sort of just set the boxes down somewhere. Not actually going to prepare one or anything. So what's the plan?
What do you mean?
I mean, what happens next? I've never done this.
Did the job, did another job, we got paid. I guess, I don't know, wait till someone tells us we have something else they want to pay us to do. That's kind of how it's gone so far. I'm
Throwback
sure
just
something will turn up.
looks at you puzzled.
I kind of hope it waits a few days, though, because I wouldn't mind taking some time before the next one.
Really? I mean, that was all pretty quick. I thought we could just knock these out back to back, and we'll be rich in no time. I did 2 things in one night. That was pretty cool.
Cool. Right. Yeah, that's not really how I remember it. Well, yeah, it was fast, and it went like none of us got killed or anything, but
Didn't really stick to the plan, though.
Yeah, what the frag was up with that? Leroy just wandering off. He was supposed to sneak into the place and subdue the guy like he did when he stole the ID.
Maybe we let him have too many beers beforehand.
I don't know. I'm not going to challenge him, though. The dude's badass, and it was going to fall apart at some point anyway. I just wish we all would have tried harder.
As long as there's going to be a next time, I think we can do better.
Yeah, which reminds me, I got to get a hold of a spell formula. Something I can do to... I mean, this whole martial arts thing is going to take way too long for me to get in shape to actually use it as a viable way to take people out non-lethally. I mean, face it, I'm never going to be a Bruce Lee.
Who's Bruce Lee?
Martial artist guy from the... Never mind. Anyway, so I need a spell that'll help me maybe not burn people. I've got some ideas.
You know, I think I've heard of like online catalogs for that stuff. You search the Matrix for that kind of thing?
There are spells on the Matrix?
I mean, it all kind of looks like boring mumbo-jumbo stuff to me, but yeah, sure, there's everything, man.
What? Nobody would put their spells in the Matrix.
Throwback just kind of shrugs. I don't know. Looked pretty easy.
Show me. I mean, will you show me, please? Let me hear. He starts digging around and gets his trodes out.
Yeah, once you have your trodes on, there's there's like a request for like a invite mark.
Yep,
and
I just go through it.
Bobby, do I need to do a Matrix search or anything, or can I just like show him a catalog where you could buy spells from?
For detection and health spells, yeah, you can find stuff like that. Anything,
Yeah,
if he's
the
looking
legal
for
stuff.
anything more, then you'll need to search around for it.
Yeah, so I just pulled up a page and just sort of scroll through it really quick, and you just see a bunch of spells pass through your view.
Yeah, those are neat. Nothing like what I'm looking for, but yeah, I'll have to check this out later. Let me see. Crap, it wants me to log in with my sin. I don't have one of those anymore.
You don't have a sin?
I had one, I kind of burned it.
Was that like with the fire, or like literally?
It's kind of what they call it, right? When you get your sin wiped?
Yeah, I'm just effing with you, man.
It didn't really have any sort of active part of that process, actually.
I mean, I've got a spare floating around, but we don't exactly look alike.
A spare sin?
Yeah, you
Like
always
a fake
carry
ID?
two.
Where do you get
One
those?
you do your illegals with, and the other one you do your grocery shopping with.
How do you get those? I could probably
We
use
get the
something.
guy back. I know somebody.
Really?
I mean, I don't know him, but he knew me.
Now you're confusing me.
It's a complicated ordeal. Do you want this thing or not?
Yeah. How much do they cost? I got some cash.
Think of it as an incentive to be a little less loud next time. And in whatever way a person can, I will go ahead and... I have a rating 2 sin that I imagine would be like maybe a rating 1 for him. I will transfer that to them, if that's possible.
Yeah, that's low enough. I don't think that should be a problem.
Oh, what's this thingy popping up in my comm link?
That's your new name. Nice to meet you, Jake Smalls.
Really? Jake Smalls?
Yeah, you're you got a license for a firearm in there, and I think you can even use the cyber deck.
Can't I pick a different last name?
We don't get to pick this stuff. You just find the ones that sort of match up with ourselves, and then, well, that's who you are now. Whoever this Jake Smalls guy is, he's no longer of the living, or something happened to him. It's you now.
Doesn't really look like me.
Yeah, that's not going to fly in most places, but
Oh, but for the online ordering, indirect like that.
Jake Smalls might need a spell.
Sweet. So, what do I owe you?
Like I said, just an incentive for the next time we go off course. Think about how hard these are to normally get.
Oh, right. So you want me to not burn the building down next time?
I mean, you saved their asses, that's for sure, but yeah, we got to figure out a way for you to do that without it being a forest fire.
Right, well, I'm pretty sure I took care of the forest. Send a water spirit back to put it out.
Oh, good on you.
Didn't want to piss off the plants any more than I had to.
Yeah, was that the drugs? No, that was before you took the drugs. What were you screaming about?
I wasn't screaming.
I believe I saw on Payday's drone you would actually fall into your knees and begin to grovel at the feet of a tree.
Yes, I was abasing myself to the plant spirit of Guardian of the Region, some really powerful thing, and for some reason I don't understand. I don't know if it's pheromones or maybe the fire bringer mentor spirit that I follow in my tendency to burn things, but plant spirits really don't like me. I was more afraid of that thing and what it could do to me and our group than I was of our targets. It
Whatever
could
you
have
did,
been
that was some
very
pretty quick
powerful and
thinking.
nasty. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. That was, wow. I can't believe it worked. I thought the thing was going to try to paste me and I was going to have to burn stuff there or just get pasted.
Nobody's gonna argue with the fact that you're good at what you do, so we got that going for us.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice of you to say. I kind of feel like I'm getting the. I don't know though. It's like I can't find a balance. I want to. I know I'm good at what I do, but what I do isn't necessarily how I want to do things all the time. You know, it just keeps playing out like that again and again. Like I don't have any control over how things are going to happen.
Yeah, you can't let it bother you that much. We don't always get to pick the hand we're dealt.
Yeah, but killing people?
Oh yeah, no, that's messed up. I don't know how you sleep at night, but like the rest of the stuff.
Gee, thanks.
Good.
Throwback just kind of winks and cracks a smile. Says, "Now how about those burritos?"
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's cook some up.
All right. At the beginning of a month is as good a time as any to remind people about any addiction tests that have come due.
What? Addiction tests.
I think I'll probably have to make one for nitro, though I didn't take any further doses, so I think my threshold goes down.
Let me check out
haven't-
Nitro for you. Hold on.
I haven't been doing it yet because I keep forgetting to ask. I assume you want to. Are we doing Hot Sim Addiction?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Addiction is
I
awesome.
haven't gone into Hot Sim yet because I haven't looked it up, but I wanted to double check in case I do decide to.
And I do tend to take Psyche semi-regularly, probably not week after week, though. Once a job, usually. So
Nitro, you'll have to. Nitro is an addiction test every 2 weeks. So
okay, so the threshold I think goes down for 1 week without taking the drug.
right. So it would have gone down by 1. The threshold is now 2.
And is that physiological or psychological?
Man, I want you to
Let
bomb
me
this
find out.
roll.
Nitro is. Ha ha ha! It's both.
So I have to make 2 tests and make them both, or just use the worst of the 2?
No, you have to make them both.
All right, 7 dice on the first one.
You are allowed
many
to
hits
use
do I need?
edge.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have to use my edge for that day on that, because I only got 1 hit. Oh, there we go. That's like 5. And then my psychological one I'm not too concerned about. I got a lot more dice for that. Yeah, no problem. Like 5 hits.
All right, you're not
I'm never
addicted to
taking that
nitro.
again. Ever.
I'm starting to get the feeling that after the feel bad mood of after that run, the group is kind of not quick to get back together during that 3 weeks.
No, I would
Elric's
probably-
actually going to show up at Payday's house and want to work on trucks and stuff. Learn how to do it.
Great.
I'm going to show up with a brand new purchased ground vehicle toolkit that I ordered online with my new fake sim.
All right. All
And
right,
also
Stretch.
there's going to be some packages being delivered there as well, as I'm also ordering things I'm upgrading my metalworking artisan toolkit to a shop, and I'm having the tools delivered to Payday's house. Unfortunately for Elric, the person on the delivery label is Jake Smalls. He tried not to put it on, but he didn't want to include the name on there, but whatever happened, it ended up getting just plastered on the front of all the labels.
So when Elric shows up, Payday takes a look at him and goes, huh, right in time. All right, here, hold this jacket for a second. We're going to remove the drive shaft off this pickup. Did you feel that rumbling when we were taking her out of that place?
No, not really. But just a minute. Can you give me a hand? There's these boxes out here.
Yeah.
I think that they just made a delivery. I ordered some stuff I thought we'd need.
Huh, all right. Hey, this thing says it's for Jake Smalls.
What?
Is that you, Jake
No.
Smalls?
No, that's not me. That's
And Eon
Just-
is looking at you with a barely contained smirk.
you can't pick the names on fake sins. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of joke that Throwback is playing on me.
All right. All right.
Just shut the frag up about that and help me carry this direct in. Oh,
All right.
check it out. There's an actual fragging forge. A forge.
All right.
Well, you have to put a lot of it together.
That's going to
I
help
think-
with the drive shaft.
It's going to take some time to do the mortaring, the mortaring to set it up properly. But oh no, that's not related to the drive shaft side of things. But
All right, well, you get to work on that, and I'll put you to work on these trucks when you're done.
Yeah, so just super quick, Elric spent a lot of his downtime hanging out with Payday, and I'm actually going to learn the mechanical or the ground vehicle engineering skill.
And man, I wasted a lot of points on that stuff, so Payday's actually really good at it.
Yeah, and I'll get to assist and occasionally critical glitch more often because I have gremlins.
He's helping.
Oh, great. So
Yep.
Payday watches you have catastrophes and has to basically fix them, grumbling and growling the entire way.
Well, I'm also really smart, so I probably don't critical glitch that often.
That's true.
Oh wait, if I put 1 point in the engineering, I'll have a dice pool of 7. Normally I would need 4 ones for a critical glitch, but Gremlins makes, not critical glitch, but glitch. Gremlins brings it down to 2. So yeah, if I roll 2 ones on 7 dice, I glitch.
Well, you're clumsy, Stretch, but I like you, and we're going to pimp these things out.
So I'm mainly going to spend karma on some skills and stuff, but I also wanted to acquire a spell formula from Morningstar for a combat spell.
All right, he's able to get you. He's able to get you any kind of spell formula that you need. You rolled pretty well.
Okay, I will buy some.
All right.
That's all the stuff I wanted to do before this stuff happens. I probably won't have learned the spell by when whatever happens.
Okay, yeah, because in just a couple of days, is going to be something that is going to happen, as you put it. All right, well, time passes for you guys, and a couple of days goes by after you guys have had time to decompress from this last run that you went on. And everyone will, not all together at the same time, separately, but everyone will all get a message from Justice Shields saying, just informing you guys that, excuse me, had to burp. Inform you guys that he got contacted by a man who he only knows goes by the name Snakeoil, and he wants to talk to you guys about some business. And like I said, he's calling you guys individually each, and so yeah, you all get the same message. Sorry, I was distracted while I was looking at something. That's why that seemed weird. So yeah, he says that he wants to talk to you guys about some business and to meet him here at this restaurant. Dressed nice. It's a nice restaurant called Al's Upstairs. It's across the river, not too far outside of downtown. And yep, just a little meeting about business. And there you go.
Dress what?
It's a nice restaurant. Payday. Please put on something presentable.
You're saying I'm not presentable.
How long do I have before by the time I get the message before I have to be there?
You were called in the morning, and he wants you there for lunch.
Okay, I'm going to whip up some preparations, probably take a little bit of a nap and go.
Out of character, Pillar was not contacted about this, by the way.
Out of character?
Well,
at some point before I go, I'm gonna text her and say, "Hey, are you getting a ride to the meet?
Pillar
are you taking the Coco taxi?"
Pillar will not respond because Pillar did not get the text.
I'll text her again a few minutes later, and then if she doesn't respond, then I'll call her. Probably getting within maybe a half hour of needing to leave for the meet by that point.
And there's no response.
I'm gonna call Payday.
Oh, I'm so glad you called me. I'm really freaking out right now.
I'm gonna hang up on Payday. I'm gonna call Throwback.
Throwback answers. Yeah, what's up? You need a lift?
Hey, I know we got the meet and everything, but I can't get a hold of Pillar. She doesn't respond to my texts and answer her comlink. Can you do your matrix magic and check up on her?
Yeah, I got
there's
some
got to be
voodoo for you.
cameras near
Hang
where
on.
she lives, or make sure there aren't any things in the news or on the net, whatever you call it.
You want me to check the news to see if your sister's in it?
Not exactly. Your fancy stuff. Like, do your magic equivalent of a divination.
I got it. I'm sure she's fine. Hang on.
Just please, quick.
Throwback will go through the
It's
process.
probably
He'll
nothing to be
try
worried. She's
to
probably just pissed at me.
he'll try to ping Pillar via the comm number that he asked for.
You also don't get a response.
Payday is trying to call Elric back.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with the Throwback still, or did you hang up?
I imagine I could do it while I'm on the line because it wouldn't be too hard.
Hey, just a minute. I'm gonna switch back to Payday, who's calling me back. Let's see. I usually hang up excellent when I do this.
We'll just hit the... And then I assume it hangs up.
Why'd you hang up on me? Look,
Yes, I do glitch, but I also get some hits, so it's not a critical. So yes, I do hang up on. I do hang up on the throwback.
Yeah, I'm like right in the middle of telling you which button to hit to just like three-way call it and then just disconnect.
Just hack
Oh,
his phone
hey,
and command it.
yeah, sorry about that. I'm a little scatterbrained right now. Just worried about Pillar.
did you try to switch calls again?
You got me. Anyway, Rex checking up.
Checking up on what?
Well, checking up on her. I guess I figured maybe she'd pick me up at her taxi, but I might need a ride if she's just pissed off and bailing because she doesn't want us to
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
murder face.
She's probably puttering down the road in that piece of crap. She can't hear you. Yeah, I'll come by and pick you up. Besides, what I was going to talk to you about, Justice Shields there told me to look fancy. I have nothing that isn't covered in grease and holes.
Elric looks down at his clothes, which are standard low lifestyle. Right. I don't really plan on dressing differently either.
All right. Well,
Mostly because I didn't plan ahead, though. I made some preparations in case things get nasty. As a Shadowrunner, you have to be prepared for these things.
yeah. Besides, when did we start taking orders from Justice Shields?
Well, when he pays us, and he's paid us before.
Yeah, he's paid us before.
So stands to reason he might pay us again.
I'll be by.
I'm gonna call Leroy.
Leroy is just leaving the dry cleaners, picking up his pressed suit, and when he gets a phone call from Elric.
Oh,
Hey, Leroy, are you in on this meet?
in however long it is from now.
It's
Yeah, lunch with the judge or his friend or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't really pay that close of attention.
It's something you might want to do.
Listen, have you heard from Pillar?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's probably pissed at all of us
I don't see why.
because we
Because we made the world a better place.
Right. Well, I don't think she would see it that way.
You can't see it, but he totally shrugs. Yeah, you calling around looking for a ride or what?
Oh no, I got that covered. Payday's giving me a ride, but I just wanted to make sure you were in on this.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, awesome. I'll see you there. Maybe we can hang out afterwards. Get some barbecue or something.
So long as we don't go to whatever the name of that place was that we got kicked out of.
There's other barbecue places besides that.
Yeah, but it's not there.
Well, we could, Yeah, never mind. We shouldn't go there. Well, fine. Just pick the place or whatever. I just, we should hang out and stuff.
In his mind, he is rolling over the fact that how old is Elric?
He probably looks like he's 17, but he's in his mid-20s.
Yeah, all right. Looking 17, he's probably like, I am almost 3 times as old as this kid. Yeah, sure. We got all that other work to finish doing, so.
Yeah, just, I thought maybe you'd know a lot about combat tactics, and it'd be cool for me to brush up that sort of thing. Plus,
Yeah.
Just to get to know each other a little better, because I don't really know much about you, and we're, like, friends now, right?
There's a little bit of a giggle. It's like, all right, you know what? Sure, we can do that after we go find out what he wants us to do.
Yeah, and try not to provoke my sister if you can help it. She might be touchy about some things, and I really want to smooth things over.
You have a lot to learn about women, don't you?
Checking
Pillar's not a woman; she's my sister. You know what I mean. Never mind. I hang up.
Yeah, checking your watches, you realize you guys need to head out.
Payday's going to make up some time going to pick up Elric.
Yeah, no, Rick, you'll just get a text message back from Throwback that finishes what he was saying. It's this button, the 3-way call, and no, Pillar's just not answering. No clue. We got a place to be though. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna call Pillar again and leave her a long, awkward voicemail until Payday drives up and honks his horn.
All right. Well, you guys get in and head over the bridge across the river to head to a restaurant. It's an old restaurant, been around in Colombia for a long time, an Italian restaurant called Al's Upstairs. It sits right on the river, actually. It's on the other side of, what's the name of that river? The Broad River? You guys don't know.
Nope.
I believe right there it's actually the Congaree River, but that's not important. The important part is that it's a nice restaurant. It's a small restaurant that sits over there. It's actually usually just opening for lunch, and it's like a 5-star type deal. You guys pull up and there's no. It looks like the parking lot, what small parking lot it has, is relatively empty, and as you guys get together and go up to the front door, as you approach, The door is opened by someone like a maitre d' type who's standing in, the appropriate outfit. He's got a clipboard in his hand and like a one of those Google Glass looking eyepieces, that he's using for AR displays and everything, taking in information. And he sees you. He's very well put together. Hair is really nice, and he sees you. And oddly, probably many of you notice that Leroy is the best dressed out of all of you. He actually looks pretty good.
I totally came in like an Uber so that I wouldn't drive a motorcycle in a suit.
Elric is dressed in his street clothes, wearing his armor jacket, and he's got his steampunk-like goggles propped up on his forehead.
Payday's in
Just like
his
normal.
greasy wife beater with his black cargos on and his leather jacket as per usual. And Eon has been going on about how adorable it is that he's so nervous, doesn't switch her off. He just lets her continue on.
All right. When you guys get close, the maitre d' welcomes you. He looks at you guys in your street clothes, and he kind of like lets out a sigh and almost kind of rolls his eyes, and he says, "You're expected upstairs right this way." And before you can come in, he does stop you and say, "I will please have to insist that if you're carrying any weapons, that you leave them here."
I gotta insist that you back off, Butler.
Elric just sort of smirks as if he's just heard an amusing joke, but there's a bit of a sardonic twist to his smile. He's not carrying any weapons.
After Payday says what he says, a larger gentleman steps up and this guy's pretty big and tough, and he says, if you have any weapons, you'll need to leave them here. And he looks at Payday.
I don't have any weapons, big guy, and I don't like the tone that I'm getting here.
He pulls out like a baton. It kind of like whips it open and says, "I'm sure you won't mind if I make sure." And he goes to kind of like scan you. Are you carrying actually anything?
No.
Okay. Well, he does the whole like metal detecting baton thing, and Payday's got plenty of cyberware though, right?
Oh, he certainly does.
And I've got a mini welder in my pocket.
Payday's on downers right now.
Okay. Does anybody else have any weapons?
I don't think I would have brought, nice things.
Is
I didn't bring any
that
weapons.
is that a no from Leroy?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything with.
Okay.
Elric kind of looks back at Leroy's. He's all dressed up and kind of mutters over to Payday, "Wow, it's like James Bond with a mullet."
Does I can't remember. Does Payday have any cyber limbs?
No, that he doesn't.
Okay.
So yeah, not anything obvious other than the data jack looking thing.
Okay.
I shift to astral perception. Is there any astral security here?
Yes, there is. There is a spirit that is watching the building, not like focused on you guys, but it's around the building.
I will sense it. Try to figure out what kind of spirit it is. 3 hits.
Sensing a spirit is opposed, right?
I don't think so. I think it's only opposed when someone's masking. But
That's true.
I might be mistaken.
You're right about that. I think you're right about that.
If I'm not opposed, then I can tell if its magic rating is equal, higher, or lower than mine, or its force.
Yeah, I've got that.
Emotional state, whether it's mundane or awakened.
Yeah, it's got a higher magic rating than you.
Ooh.
That's what you know.
Can I tell what kind of spirit it is?
Yes, it's a spirit of air.
Okay. I'll nod in its general direction and switch my perception back to the physical. And not summon a fire spirit.
All right. He does ask you what the mini welder is that you've got. Like, once he detects that, he says, What do you got, pal? What is this?
That's a mini welder.
A mini welder? What do you need this for?
It's for cutting metal or fusing metal pieces together.
He kind of
I don't
furrows
really
his
need
brow.
it for this. I mean, if you want to hang on to it for now.
Yeah, I don't foresee you needing it to cut any metal up here, so I'll hold on that for you.
Not really part of my plans either. Yeah. Do you
The
want the
maitre,
spare fuel can I've got for it?
yes,
Pass it up.
please.
Off to him.
The maitre d' nods after all that is over with and says, "Please, right this way." Just inside the door, there's barely even a foyer. It definitely wouldn't even hold all of you guys before it gets to the stairs that go to the restaurant proper, which is upstairs. Downstairs, there's some side rooms that are, reserved for different things, but the restaurant proper is upstairs.
I'm going to send a text to Pillar. Come on, Pillar. We're really bad at schmoozing with people.
Do you think I came on too aggressive there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all doing terrible.
Everything's
Where's
gonna be
Pillar?
okay. Everything's gonna be fine. This is good.
Look, he was really judgy. He had judgy eyes and stupid glasses.
I mean, that was his job. Like, his job is literally to judge you. But it's fine. You did good.
Yeah, nobody got shot. Let's just try to keep that going.
Yeah, we're like 2 for 2 with people we've interacted with that haven't died today. So this is gonna go fine.
Hey, people don't always die.
My
All right.
experience so far, it's been 100%. But no, this is a good chance.
Not
You
every
guys
day.
shaking my
It's only on certain days. Days that we make a lot of new yen.
You guys get to the top of the stairs, and right at the top of the stairs is in this area is kind of a bar area. It's pretty small, but the restaurant itself is again very small. But it's an Italian restaurant. It's got some Italian sort of styling and everything, but it's mixed with sort of a southern flair. It's got that twist of of a southern restaurant. But the main part of the restaurant, you guys walk past the bar, and there are some like large double French doors that are the maitre d' walks up to, and with both arms opens it up to what looks like the main part of the restaurant and could probably hold 15 or so tables. But right now it's cleared out, and there's one large table in there that could seat all of you guys. The wall opposite, basically the entire rest of all the walls of the room are windowed. And it's an amazing view of the river, the Congaree River, and across the river, the skyline of Columbia. On the tallest buildings, you can see the emblazoned logos of Seder Krupp and Horizon and Evo, those 3 buildings that are there, and then some other smaller buildings. You can see the State House off in the distance, and all. It's a really nice view, and if it was the evening, it would be lit really nicely, but it's the middle of the afternoon. The restaurant is normally open this time of day, but it's empty right now. And he says, your host will be here shortly. He has directed me to have you sit down and make yourselves comfortable. There is bread and water.
As if Payday hadn't thought of this already, in all of his worrying about getting dressed and being judged by the maitre d', which he called a butler, he just realized that he's going to be able to eat really fancy food, and his mood turns around as he quickly takes a seat.
Well, his mood doesn't turn around unless he actually makes it turn around, right?
That is somewhat true. He will switch to uppers, by the way.
All right.
It takes some time to take effect, but he wants to make sure that he's able to savor this food.
Okay. Well, as you guys sit down, after that, the maitre d' stands back at the door, and he pauses for a moment, standing at the door, turns around and looks at you guys as he grabs the door to go to close it, and he says, your host will be with you shortly. And he closes the door, and you guys are left in this room alone for at least a short moment.
Yeah, Throwback's like breaking the bread open and just takes like a big whiff of it. Like just smells it as deeply as he can. Does it smell like actual bread?
Yeah.
Maybe we should let...
If your characters have never smelled real, legit, fresh baked bread before, it's an amazing smell. It's got herbs encrusted on it. It's a nice crusty Italian bread with a very soft middle. It's already been sliced. Plates of olive oil seasoned with herbs and some balsamic vinegar inside of it have been placed out for you to dip, and there's a pitcher of ice water and nice drinking glasses set out. And
this is it, guys. We made it. We did it. We did the hard work, and now we're getting the reward.
So full disclosure here, absolutely full disclosure. I have so many beetles about good food, and this is going to be amazing.
Okay, well, but I think we should come up with a plan. I think Throwback should do all the talking.
Yeah, I'll put all the bread in my. Wait, what?
I can talk.
No, I think only Throwback should talk.
Don't worry. My mood is increasing.
You called that guy a butler.
Yeah. Well, things have changed.
Throwback puts like a big piece of bread in his mouth and just starts to chew.
Not too long after you guys have your brief discussion, the door opens again, and a man comes in, and he's wearing a nice summery white, and with blue pinstripes seersucker suit, and he's a rather large individual, somewhat kind of portly, like he's not, he's a heavy set guy, and he's got a big smile on his face.
Elric, stand up, shake his hand.
Elric stands up and extends his hand, kind of abruptly.
And he says, hello, you must be Elric.
Elric nods.
He says, I have, you guys, I'm looking forward to this meeting. We have some business to discuss, as I said, but I don't want to get right to it. Please have a seat.
Elric lets his hand down after the guy doesn't shake it and kind of rubs it against his leg as if he was, I don't know, just doing something with his hand, and then sits down awkwardly. Doesn't say a word.
We're missing one of ours. Sure,
said,
she's going to be around anytime.
Well, it's no matter. It's no matter. We're gonna eat and listen. We've got, as I said, we've got business to discuss, but there are certain formalities that we like to partake in here in the South, and definitely we cannot have business on an empty stomach. We've got to get to know each other. You say what you will about etiquette and formality and I'm searching for a word here, and ritual, but these things have a place in polite society, and let's get to know each other.
Elric turns his face towards Payday in a way that he hopes that the guy who's walked in can't see Elric's face, kind of glares at Payday a little bit, and makes a zip your lip motion with his hand.
All right, so this is Payday, and this is my partner, Eon.
Face palm, like Elric literally does a face palm right there.
He says, wonderful to meet you, Payday.
Yeah, wonderful to meet you too.
My name, people call me Snakeoil. It's an old name that was given to me, nickname, and I've taken kindly to it. It was, back in the day, I was a salesman, and they used to say that I could fool anyone into buying just anything, and people used to tease me, and the name stuck, and I like it.
I'm dialing Pillar.
Really trustworthy name.
I hear what you're saying. But, let's have you enjoyed the bread.
Yeah, Throwback looks down at his plate where there's like one piece of bread left and says, yeah, we saved you some. And kind of like pushes his plate towards him.
He
kind of
chuckles
turning away
again
from the table and whispering, Pillar, come on.
There's a recipe that uses Parmesan. I like this stuff, but I think the other one's a little bit better.
Oh, a man who knows his food.
Oh, come on, sis, pick up. He's doing the talking.
Elric is still, of course, not getting a response, but he says, you know what? We need more. Would you like some wine? Have you ever, it just didn't occur to me, have you ever had real Italian wine?
Yes, kind of.
Kind of?
It's a long story.
What's your favorite? Let me ask you that. And after he says that, he snaps his fingers, and through the door comes the maitre d', and he says, please, will you take some wine orders from our friends here? We also have some liquors, if you'd like something like that. Imported beers as well.
So just because if I feel it like it, and it's going to be one of the only times I ever get to roll this, and because I don't know as well as my character does, I'm going to drop my gourmet foods knowledge.
Do indeed.
Texting to Throwback. Can you scan these drinks to make sure they're not poisoned?
Yeah, Throwback just replies back, yeah. I'll have to, like, taste, like, 2 or 3, just to be sure, though.
So I actually get 4 hits on that.
And so is Payday just trying to impress him with his wine knowledge and whatnot?
Yeah, as he like wipes like some grease onto his pants, he starts talking about all kinds of stuff that would normally seem out of character for him for sure.
Well, everyone is I'm sure very impressed as Payday suddenly whips out some knowledge of all sorts of different red and white varieties, and they just go back and forth a little bit, and you get brought out a bottle, choice bottles of both a red and a white selection that you have chosen, that you have more or less chosen for the table.
Yeah, after Payday does a little bit of talking and isn't, creating a disaster, Elric just at some point just says, huh, and stops trying to redial his sister over and over again.
Yes, Elric is certainly impressed at the impression that Payday has made on Snakeoil, your host.
During the course of the conversation, whenever the wine gets brought out, Throwback, if I can, I want to like pour just like a little tiny bit into the glass and like take a sip. And then, like, as just Elric is watching, I want to just, like, pretend like my eyes roll back into my head and sort of, like, loosely grab at my throat for a second before just sort of, cracking a smirk and then pouring 2 big glasses of it.
Judge intentions with that. Do you have a con skill or a performance?
Yeah, I could roll con.
Do it.
What is the judge intentions dice? I don't seem to find it here. Oh, there it is.
Charisma, intuition.
Yeah, charisma hit.
That's 2 hits.
We tied. I also got 2 hits.
Elric maybe looks a little bit concerned but skeptical, and then rolls his eyes at him after he finishes then.
Well, the wine comes in, and as you're pouring the red, he says, yes, now this one will be nice. Don't drink on it too fast now, because that will pair excellently with the dish, the main course that's going to be come out. That's a nice, spicy, strong Shiraz, and we'll be having some beef tenderloin later.
Fine choice.
You compliment yourself, sir. You made the choice.
I always compliment myself.
He laughs again. He's enamored by Payday, despite his greasy street clothes.
Elric, besides the initial bread, he's not eating or drinking.
All right. Well, as the conversation goes on and everything, eventually a man enters with a seared and glazed beef tenderloin on a platter, and it smells delicious. Herbs and glazed with some like balsamic glaze and everything, and it's placed on the table. And when it is, Snakeoil stands and asks the man to leave, and he picks up the chef's knife that was left on the platter and begins to slice the meat very slowly. And he says, all right, food's here, let's get down to business.
Elric just starts shaking his head very slowly, with this little bit of a frown on his face. He's trying so hard not to eat poisoned food.
Eat it. And Payday elbows Elric. See, I told you I got this. I can talk.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You're good at this. You think it's safe to eat food?
You better believe it is.
So Snakeoil standing there in his white and blue pinstripe seersucker suit. He begins to slowly cut the meat. And it's at this moment when you realize that when the food came in, also came 2 other men who have stood kind of on either side of those French doors with their arms crossed behind their back, 2 larger guys, and with their chest puffed out a little bit, and certainly not concealing weapons that they have holstered under their jackets.
This is a little uneasy.
You would also notice, if you paid any attention to it, that outside some similar looking guys have just taken up outside the door in that like barish sort of foyery lobby area that was at the top of the stairs. And like I said, he's cutting the meat, and he says, now my sources tell me that your team here has pulled off a few jobs in recent months, and I do say that you may be beginning to make an impression on the right circles to keep yourselves gainfully employed and successful, that is. This is a good thing for you.
success begets success, right?
Absolutely, Payday. Absolutely. However,
Elric's got a mouthful of food.
However, it has also come to the attention of the people whom I work for that their interests and yours may be, let's say, in conflict. Now, that's a problem for you more than them, to be sure. However, I have managed to convince them to allow me to act as an intermediary to avoid any misunderstandings. And at that time, he's slicing the meat, and you can see like a piece falls down, and it's like the rarest meat, you know. It's almost purple on the inside, and the juices are running out, blood red juices are running out all over the platter. And he takes a piece and puts it onto a plate and slides it to Elric, who seems the most uncomfortable, and looks at him as he does.
Elric sort of reaches down with a fork and takes a bite.
Well, Snakeoil continues on, and he says, recently a compound of sorts came under fire, quite literally, in fact. Now, unfortunately, for you, of course, these were assets of the people whom I am working for. Now, my employers, they are reasonable people. They hope that you all were performing these extreme acts of violence and arson in the name of a paycheck, and not at some misguided vigilante effort. So as an act of good faith in this regard, they are willing to overlook this unfortunate event, provided that you never, ever interfere in their affairs again. And he's keeping a smile on his face this whole time, you know.
So is Payday.
Well, of course, he's on uppers, right?
Yeah.
And he actually gets
Elric,
it.
not fucking swallows and looks over at Payday and then at Leroy.
Just calmly eating.
Now, just so that I'm not missing any. I look over at Elric's dish. Subtleties. I take it that you were employed by a bunch of damned racists.
Well,
So,
we're not. I'm not interested in talking about specifics about who I'm employed with. Let me just say that my employers, whoever they may be, are interested in resolving this maybe before it gets out of hand. And they are forgiving people, I assure you. But make no mistake, they are powerful and vengeful when provoked. I would not suggest testing their capacity for forgiveness in this regard. If you can do this, then, well, let's just say your forward momentum in your careers will continue.
well, make no mistake, it's always business for me. It's always a paycheck for me.
This is good to hear.
Elric does not talk. Elric does not talk. Elric has a mantra in his head that's saying Elric is not going to talk.
After he lets it sink in for only a moment, he says, now, I do regretfully have to inform you that their forgiveness only goes so far, however, and an act of this extreme destruction cannot go completely unpunished. It's for this reason I've been told to provide you with a demonstration of their far-reaching power and the seriousness with which they wield it. And at that moment, Snakeoil makes appear in augmented reality a video feed, and it's a video feed from a drone which is recording something happening. And you quickly realize that it's on screen a half dozen or so Lone Star officers are busting into an apartment building, which you all quickly recognize as Pillar's apartment. And you kind of sit there probably in shock as you realize all of this and see that she's shot several times with non-lethal rounds, quickly apprehended, restrained, and arrested.
Throwback will elbow Elric before, like, as that comes on, and sort of double tap his head to tell you to put your drones on and see it.
Elric, well, he's already got them running. He's turning a gradually deeper shade of red.
He doesn't wait too long. He doesn't want to give people too much of an opportunity to respond. So as it's happening and before it's like comfortable enough for people to have kind of in their heads to feel like it's been concluded, he says, now, I I hope the message has been received, and I hate to be rude, but I must be off to another appointment. Given the circumstances, I've arranged for you to complete your meal here if you'd like. I mean, the food's already been prepared and served, right? I'd hate it to go to waste. I'm not a barbarian. And he chuckles and then leaves.
Was there a timestamp or anything on that video feed?
It would have been made, if at all possible, it would have been made completely clear that this was happening, if not at this very moment, very recently, within minutes.
Oh, Drek.
Elric starts shaking, starts turning more of a purplish color.
Hey, breathe, buddy.
Payday takes a bite of his food.
Feel like we're just.
Did you cut off Leroy or stop?
I stopped. It was just one of those things of like, hey, look at me show you your friend getting arrested. Some awkward statements.
Yeah, Throwback's just gonna keep telling Elric to breathe until he finally exhales.
It takes a little bit, and he sort of exhales and starts to breathe kind of shakily, which starts to lead into hyperventilating.
So that could have went better.
I mean,
Tell me.
It looked
Tell
like gel.
me.
It looked like gel. I didn't see any blood at all. Though, so she'll be fine.
Tell me it would do no good to burn down this building.
Oh, it would definitely be a bad idea to burn down this building.
Okay.
There's a play here. There's a play.
You all
It's
also
fine.
realize, by the way, as he's saying that, Elric probably doesn't realize it in his anger, but the armed guards that were there are still there. So, and they've when he says that, they don't like draw their weapons or anything, but they're definitely more alert and ready to.
He wouldn't have shown us that if there's not a play. It's gonna be fine.
They shot her. I mean, she looked alive, but
I reach under my jacket and I actually no, I think second about it, but I do say, watch what you say about
Elric
anything.
nods.
I take another bite of this amazing meal.
Throwback will just kind of like look over his shoulder at one of the nondescript guards and just say, "What the hell are you looking at?"
At some point, Elric takes his comlink out and points his camera at guards and very obviously takes a picture of each of them.
And one of them there reaches under his jacket, doesn't pull a weapon out, but says, "What the frag are you doing?"
I'm gonna want to remember your face.
He kind of furrows his brow at you and doesn't move, but stares.
Elric just sort of stares at him intently.
Stretch.
Just kind of nods slowly.
Digest bodies with guns. Paid to do what they do.
Bodies. That's a good word for them.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Just
we ought
not
to get out of
now.
here. Yeah, you got it. Not now.
Later. So he's still staring at the guy.
Hey,
Go
could
back.
I get some of this to go?
The guard looks a little confused and he says, no, you know what? Maybe you guys ought to just and he looks back at Elric and says, yeah, you just listen to your friend here, okay? We've got Astral Security, we've got us here, there's some people out, like, this isn't a good idea, okay? Let's go. Why don't you guys just pack it up?
Elric nods. Right. Like I said, later.
He says, right, pal, right, okay. I hear you. Let's go.
Frank, I'm taking a dish with me. Not to pry it out of my hands.
They don't stop you. They're more concerned that you guys go ahead and go, especially with how angry and violent Elric is beginning to look.
He's got his hands clenched really, really tight. He's moving very stiffly.
Yeah, I think Throwback will actually notice and say, "Elric, help! The wheel," and kind of motion for you to actually like unclench your hands and actually like help push Throwback.
Yeah,
I'm trying
comes
to
over behind him.
goad you into it, basically.
I don't, by the way, I don't mean to make light of the situation, but I can't help it. This is awkward.
Yeah, Elric just sort of uses his trodes to send out the text, partially misspelled and maybe weirdly auto-corrected, but trying to say something to the effect of trying really hard not to do anything.
Elric, this is Eon. 1 foot in front of the other. We're almost out of here.
As Elric's sort of walking out, he's kind of visibly very shaken and breathing rather steadily and heavily. Just has this just complete tightened rage, trying to hold back his violent impulses.
And I guess we shuffle on out.
All right. Well, nobody, of course, stops you, and you're out. And where you headed after this? Want to give you guys ample time to process.
Did Snakeoil leave us any type of indication of what was to happen next?
No, he
No, he
just he left it at that, and he's gone.
Let's go back to my place, my shop. There's room, and I mean, if you're really frustrated, you can kick one of the trucks.
No, we need to call Justice Shields.
Yeah, let's get somewhere first.
Let's do it en
But-
route to your place. You mind if we,
He set this up.
crash at your garage?
Yeah. Let's go now.
Ah, frag, he's in on this too.
He's
He did.
does
He
his
didn't
job.
know. He would have
He's
said something, I'm sure, right?
He's fixing for us. If anybody wants to get in touch with us, they get in touch with Justice Shields. If we've got any rep, people are starting to know that. Ain't Justice
Okay.
Shields. And we will head to my shop.
Yeah, Throwback just mutters as we drive away, like, oh, I thought we made it. I thought this was the big payday.
And when we get there, I will take a seat on one of the stools and keep eating that delicious food. So, what do we do about it?
I don't know.
So, Alex, well, we gotta bust her out.
Bust her out of.
We'll need a
Right.
lot more information. I mean, they've got her alive. I don't know where they're holding her. Is this like a legit, or semi-legit use of the police to do this? Did they trump up some crime? Link her to the,
That was the star, Elric. She's in lockup, real lockup. This ain't Humanus doing this.
And that was just a message. That's just showing them what they're capable of doing to any of us.
Yeah, so we need better security. We can't just go around and doing the stuff we're gonna do. We can't just go around day to day living like normal people.
Any way we can find out Throwback, which there's got to be a way to find where she's being held.
You see how easy they got her? I mean, we took on a fragging compound of guys with assault rifles and Drek. They
They're
just
Lone
walked into
Star.
the place.
You just
Yeah,
let me in your
pistols.
apartment the other day, a couple weeks ago. You even looked
Ah.
at the people first?
I need to move. Oh, frag. But first we gotta figure out what's up with Pillar. I don't know if we can bust her out in transit or something, but we need more info.
I know you want to just go and bust her out, but really weigh what you're saying.
We gotta find out what it is. I mean,
Hang on, I think I know a guy. Throwback's gonna flip through his Rolodex and see if he might give his contact BMW a call. They're an info broker. Just to get the feelers out there to find out if, there's any Lone Star relevant news.
Sure.
It was one of the supplied contacts. I don't know if they've come up yet.
One sec. All right. Yep. You get a BMW. He answers. He's a troll. He's actually small for a troll, just to give you some kind of indication of who he is. And he's a troll, sort of decory kind of information broker. And he answers and he goes, "Yellow."
So, hey, thanks for picking up. I know it's the middle of the day. I didn't really give you any warning. I got a question.
Yeah.
Promise I'll pay
I'm
it
real
back.
busy, like I always am. Here in my tank top and flip flops. So keep going.
Yeah, Wiz. Sorry, right. So, like, I'm looking for information about maybe like a Lone Star bus that could have happened today, like within the last hour or so.
Lone Star bust. Yeah, okay, I got some stuff going on here. Yeah, okay. So there's a couple of arrests that have gone on. Looks like some normal hobo shenanigans. Some people got an orc out of the university that got picked up for some kind of crazy crimes. What are you looking for?
Does that sound relevant to me? Like asking out of character.
The university is where all of you guys stay. Definitely where Pillar is, and she's an orc.
That one, yeah, that one, the orc. I want
Okay,
everything
yeah,
you've got on it.
Yeah, sure. It just came through, less than an hour ago, like you said. Looks like, remind me, Cassie, what's Pillar's, real name?
Danielle.
Danielle Jackson, right?
Yeah, Danielle Jackson.
That's right. Okay. Says, yeah, it looks like here, the Lone Star picking up Danielle Jackson, wanted for multiple alleged accounts of murder, arson, Looks like some stuff like that. Not a lot of specifics that's going on. It's like kind of active as we speak. Well, no, it looks like here they just got her pulled in and she's like in processing as we speak.
She's already in processing?
Yeah, this was a fast one.
But she's okay. Does it say anything about she's okay?
Let me see here. It looks like they followed protocol as close as they normally do with metahumans on this one. It's actually surprising here. We got an orc who was taken out non-lethally. That's unusual.
Yeah, Throwback, like everybody else just sees Throwback kind of like grit his teeth a little bit at that, kind of winces. Says, yeah, really lucky. Man, is that it? That's all you have?
I mean, there's not a lot of details going on right now. Like I said, the warrant for arrest was on looks like some pretty good evidence. I don't have the evidence, and I'm not a lawyer or anything, but some evidence of, like I said, murders and arson and some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Multiple accounts too. Like, do you know this broad?
Yeah, she was a friend. She's a friend.
Ooh, oh, sorry.
Was? Elric's saying he's been listening.
Yeah,
Whoa,
like
calm
I'm
down,
gonna show you my palm. Like, sorry. Say, can you just like let me know if you figure out where she's gonna be staying or something?
Yeah. If you want me to keep an eye on this, though, it's gonna cost you a little bit,
I'll cover it. You send me the bill.
Yeah. Normal rate and all. Don't this.
I'm good for it.
All right, no problem. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it for you.
All right, Throwback just ends the call, relaying a little bit that the group didn't get.
Okay, you said
she's in processing already. She's okay. She wasn't harmed outside of being subdued, and I'll be able to figure out where she's being kept. But she's already in processing.
What does that mean? Turn to Leroy. Leroy, what does that mean?
It's a good question.
I mean, you know about this stuff, right? This isn't the first time you've broken somebody out of jail.
I have never really broken anybody out of jail.
Oh, right. Obviously, we don't hit them while they're in jail. We wait till she's in transit. Then we can get the vehicle on the move. They can do the drone support. We got the magical fire support.
I think we missed that about 45 minutes ago. The next trip she'll be taking is probably in a big truck filled with other prisoners going to the real prison.
Who cares how many other prisoners are on there, or how big the truck is? We can do this. I mean, she'll have to lie low or maybe get out of town for a while, but those charges you were talking about, we can't just leave her in their hands.
I know.
I mean, we're the murder and arson people. Well, some of us murder, some of us arson. Some of us murder and arson.
Was about to say.
But
Leroy's
the point is,
gonna
we've got
send
that
a,
covered. She's
going to send a
least
message.
murdery arsonist person I know.
What's Leroy sending a message?
He's going to send a message to Throwback and Payday. It's like, are you guys wanting to actually do something about this?
I don't know what we can do.
This is a big job.
I don't want to just say, yeah, let them get away with what they just did. But on the other hand,
she's getting processed now. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything rash.
We have to hit the prison transport, though. Once they get her to actual prison, it's going to be almost impossible to get her out. And then they can do things like execute her in Drek. Do they execute orcs, right?
Look at it this way, Stretch. They ain't going to execute her because, well, that's something they've got on us.
Yeah, then they have leverage.
They have leverage now.
They got to keep her alive in order to keep us under their thumb, right, Payday?
Which is why we got to hit it before it gets to the prison. We have to find out when they're transporting and how. That way we can intercept.
And then the next time it's Leroy they bust in and arrest.
Yeah, right. I'd like to see that. I mean, granted, my sister was kind of a badass and all, but she's no Leroy. At least not as far as, combat goes.
So
Eon just looks very sympathetic.
We're in the garage, right?
Yeah.
So, Gentleman G, he owes me a favor.
What are you going to ask him?
I
want you to think everything that you're doing through very carefully and get past the anger.
I don't have time for that.
You have to have time for that. Hey, I can help with a BTL if you need it. Calm you right down.
Elric sort of pauses for a moment and says, all right, fine, slot me.
You got it.
No, wait. Elric, what do you think Pillar would want us to do?
Something smart. I don't know.
Think about it.
She certainly wouldn't want us to let her go to prison. I mean, she just got the frag out. That's why I came back to this city, to help her out, watch over her. Now everything's up in flames.
We can still help her. It's just going to take time.
No,
So-
if we take too much time, we won't be able to help her. We have to hit the transport. I mean, I can't think of any other vulnerable point that we can actually potentially pull this off. And granted, maybe that's because I'm too angry right now, but I don't think we're going to have a shot besides that. At least not without doing something really drastic.
We've got to hear out what the Snakeoil guy wants. I'm sure he's going to release your sister as soon as we do their job.
But we can't play his game. I mean, we can maybe let him think we're playing his game, but I'm not working for that person. I don't want to do anything he wants to get done.
I don't either, but you're talking about hitting Lone Star in the middle of downtown.
I didn't say
That gives them every reason they need to shoot your sister on sight.
That's why we got to pull this off, and I need to be able to think clearly. Pity?
Nah, those chips are not the way to think clearly, friend.
Hey, it worked for me.
No offense, Payday, but
What are you even saying?
Thorek just kind of shrugs, like, not going to fight this fight right now.
Wait, no, maybe you're right. I took the nitro before, and things went pretty sideways.
Suit yourself. All I'm saying is that this has got so much potential to get us killed or your sister killed. This is hitting the star. And
That I
just
can
like
agree with.
Throwback said, I'd say we do the job for them.
Let's roll it back real quick and go through exactly what's being asked. Did he ever identify what he did with the star to get this information?
Are you talking about Throwback, what I did?
No, the
Or
snake oil.
No, I
Just
think we
seems
just
like it
saw
was a
police surveillance camera or whatever.
humanist outstretch of the arm.
So we can assume that he works for them in some way.
Well, they had some links to the compound, and the compound was a humanist compound. So
Yeah, his employers owned the compound, and he has some pull with the star. I mean, racist knowing races isn't that surprising to me.
and remember, it was an extremist faction it was a militaristic faction of the like a splinter faction of the humanists.
What he said just before he showed you guys the feed of the arrest happening, specifically what he said was that he's been told to provide you with a demonstration of the far-reaching power and the seriousness with which it's being wielded of the people he works for. And then he showed you that.
So is there anything we could roll to know kind of what's going on in the area? That obviously the star would have that kind of stuff. Obviously Manus would. Is there any other potential people we could know about?
You guys all are natives of Colombia. You would not need to roll anything to know that that the Humanist Poly Club is not just is by no means a fringe group in Colombia. It is not just a well-accepted group, but often a very powerful group, politically, business-wise, everywhere. And yeah.
Yeah, somewhere down the line, this man works for them.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Throwback, but it is not. It would not be unusual for your first thought to go straight to like, oh, they have connections, and that's what they're throwing those around.
Gotcha. So it is likely Humanus has connections in Lone Star that is making this guy do this thing.
Right. You don't need to roll anything to make a connection like that. Yeah.
All right. So we have some Humanus people that think we're the ones responsible.
Now, Elric, you ain't gonna want to hear this. I'm gonna say it anyway. Me and Throwback are saying it. We do whatever they want us to do. We get your sister out. I have some contacts that might be able to help her on the inside. Maybe keep her safe. Who knows? But
Right. This guy offers a deal to get her out.
right,
I'll bite.
we make the deal.
It's probably the safest move.
Did
But,
he even say anything about offering us a deal? Because all I kept hearing was threat, and threat.
Yeah, and demonstration was how he put it. So
Son, that means a threat.
I just figured I missed something through all the red.
All right, there's only one reason that you let a group of Shadowrunners live after pulling that kind of dreck.
He made sure it was about a paycheck for us. We weren't doing it as vigilantes. We were doing it as, Shadowrunners. So there's got to be a deal here.
Your
And we
friend, found out about the arrest. Find out if any other orcs were arrested. Maybe they're just rounding up ones with criminal sins.
And he said there were a few the day, but it sounded like this was a unique one in that it was non-lethally apprehended.
You have to check in and see if any of the other ones were non-lethal.
He's going to contact me in a little bit, figure out some more details then. This is going to cost money, by the way. I didn't want to bring that up, but...
it's all going to cost cred.
Yeah, I mean, he's not exactly a friend. It's kind of I give him money and he does things for me kind of thing.
Like, how much cred?
Probably what would be the normal price for such a request?
He actually just went AFK a second, so we'll leave this
Oh,
little...
okay.
Speaking
All right.
of him being AFK, for him to edit out later. So I don't think we do it. We could find out that she wasn't the only orc that was arrested. We do anything for her. Maybe it's a blanket. Maybe they're just rounding up a bunch of orcs. Maybe they're just talking to a bunch of people that do shadow work to see what shakes loose.
I mean, they had her rap sheet. They know it was filled with arson and murder. I don't imagine that was a common crime on most of the day's pickups.
It doesn't exactly take any actual evidence for them to convict her anyway.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have let those people live.
Here, let's see. You start throwing fire, I would have put you out.
Besides, it doesn't matter. We were sloppy as hell doing that.
I don't think they have us on anything. Is there any cameras around there?
Who knows?
I look over to Throwback.
Kind of squint. I don't think I remember seeing cameras.
I might have to get a new mask and helmet, maybe a new suit of armor.
That's the people that ran away. We didn't hunt them down afterwards.
Leroy just kind of chuckles a little bit. And,
Won't make that mistake again.
All right, so we talked to Justice Shields. We shake loose what we can there. They knew enough to contact him. Maybe he'll know enough about them that we're able to talk to them.
there's something else we could do.
What do you got?
Pin it on somebody else, fabricate enough evidence for somebody that matches her general physical description, then plant the evidence in Lone Star so that this way when it goes to trial, if she's going to get a trial, then they realize, oh, frag, we have the wrong person, and promptly go arrest somebody else.
It sounds like Snakeoil has got the connections to make sure that no matter how much evidence we give, they're probably not going to care.
Yeah, I don't think this is about evidence.
They're going to bypass trial. She's going right to prison.
Yeah, she just jumped to the head of the line. I mean, I think she's already at her pre-trial.
Do they let people visit?
I don't see why not, and I bet you they'd love for you to visit because they want to hit that home.
Not only that, they already got you 3/4 of the way to the other side of the bars.
Yeah, they do.
You think for a moment that you going in there to visit your obviously Shadowrunning sister as somebody who's suspected of being a Shadowrunner, and you think you're going to get out of there?
Yeah, that sin I gave you is not going to fly at a prison checkpoint.
Right.
They probably won't even care.
All this adds up to we need a whole lot of new yen and a bunch of time we don't have.
Pretty much.
Makes you feel any better, at least that she's getting arrested for something that she actually participated in. They could have gotten her for any number of things, just made it fake.
I don't think she murdered any of those people.
No, she didn't want to. We had a plan to go in quiet.
Yeah, well, you
Capture
should have
the
thought
guy.
about that before you stomped through the woods.
Hey, we can't go blaming each other for fragging that thing up. Not yet. Not now.
Right.
It is what it is.
Happens, heat of the moment, all that direct.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm sure you knew what you were doing, and it was going to go south anyway. It was going to go. That was the only way it could have gone down. Our mistake is that we didn't go in that way from the first place. Target him, hit him before they can organize, burn him. Everybody's dead. We leave behind nothing, no evidence, just a burnt patch in the woods.
Throwback's just shaking his head, like really subtly back and forth.
I'm going to call my people, have them ready. That's going to cost money too. And someone needs to get in touch with Justice Shields.
Yeah, I got to call my parents first.
You might want to skip that call for a little while.
I
Till you
got to hear
cool
it from
down,
somebody
right?
besides. I got to make sure they hear it from me.
What happens when they ask you how you know?
Just tell him you were
She was
on the
publicly arrested.
sidewalk when they were pulling her out of the apartment. Make sure you tell him that she was okay. It's the right thing to do. He needs to call him.
Yeah, I'm going to dial up my parents.
Frag. I hate this.
All right.
Their caller ID shows up as Jake Smalls.
Okay. Yeah, a man answers the phone and says, "Hello.
Is it my dad?
Yeah, what's your dad's name?"
Oh, frag, I don't have that written down anywhere convenient. Or I'm not even sure I have it written down.
It's a trick question. His name's Dad.
Yeah, his
Good
name's
answer.
Dad.
He says, Jackson residence.
I guess his name is Patrick. Patrick Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson residence. Patrick speaking. How can I help you?
Yeah, Dad, this is Elric.
Elric? It says a caller. You borrowing a friend's phone or something? It says Jake
What do you mean?
Smalls.
What? Where? No, I mean, there's something wrong with my comlink. You know all those things hate me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the truth. You haven't called in a long time. Where you been, boy?
Hey, listen, just sit down. Are you sitting down?
Yeah. I'm in the recliner. My
Star
favorite
just
seat. It's my seat in the house.
Star just picked up Danny. They got some trumped up things about arson and murder. Bunch of ridiculous bulldrack, but they got her. Shot her a bunch. I guess she's okay. It was non-lethal, but she's going into processing already.
What? What do you... She's been arrested again?
Yeah, like some big crazy direct, like multiple counts of murder and arson. Just, they're pinning a bunch of stuff on her. I don't know what's real going on, really. I just found out.
God.
And I didn't want you to hear from somebody else first.
How do you know about this? You've been... what is she involved with, Elric?
What? I don't know.
She didn't...
But she's not the type of person to burn down buildings and kill a bunch of people.
No, I know, you're right.
I mean, she'll haul off and punch somebody for deserving it, but that,
Yeah.
no, they're making something up. They're trying
You're
to pin
right.
some fake stuff on her. I don't know what this is all about, but I'm sorry, and I wanted you to hear it from me instead of somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna
don't know what to
call
do
them.
next.
I'm gonna call them. I need to go and make a phone call down to Lone Star headquarters.
Yeah, okay, Dad. Let me know what they say.
He hangs up.
Elric just sort of collapses with a sigh.
Payday is actually going to call Marauder.
And he answers and says, Marauder speaking, what's up?
This is Payday. Hector.
Hey, Hector, how's it going?
It could be better. We just got one of our own picked up.
Ah, frag, man.
Got a feeling that she's going directly to big lockup. There's a lot at play here. Humanus fraggers.
Metahuman? Not human, probably, is she?
She's an orc.
Yeah. That's some dreck, man.
Yeah, it is. I have a favor to ask, and the favor, of course, comes with Nguyen. Anybody that you got on the inside might be able to keep an eye on her.
Yeah, I could probably. Depends on where she ends up, you know.
Right. We've got somebody looking into it. I can give you more information as it develops.
Yeah. Hey. I'll see what I can. When the time comes, you let me know, and I'll see what I can find out.
You got it. And Payday will hang up. I nod to Elric.
Well,
when we find out where she is, it'll be at least she'll have somebody watching her back. As long as she's around here, in one of our prisons. If they ship her across the country, then I don't know.
right. Well, I gotta stop just to think. Can't do anything rash. It doesn't seem like her situation is, well, something that's requires immediate intervention. They probably don't have enough to try her for anything that'll stick. They have the death penalty in this state? I don't remember.
She's an orc, man. When you're not a human, we all kind of have the death penalty.
So we can't let her go to actual trial.
Again, they're not. This is lockup. They want to keep her. They wouldn't do any of this if they didn't.
If they wanted to send that type of message, we would have seen a whole different thing play out on that video.
Hell, we would have got a whole different thing. You think they would have wanted to bring us in and have us drink fancy wine and eat fancy food if they just wanted us dead?
Did anybody call Justice Shields yet?
No.
All right, I'm gonna give him a call.
Maybe you ought to let somebody else handle that one. You're a little bit
I pressed the dial button.
Frag.
Justice Shield answers almost immediately, and he says, Elric, holy dreck, I just found out about some... listen, I know... I had no idea this was going to happen. Let me start by saying that.
You fragged us?
Good. That's good.
Look,
I'd like to think you're someone I can trust.
Oh, thank you. It makes
What
me
does
feel
this
good.
mean? Is she going to be like electrocuted or something? What happens next?
I don't know. It's gonna have to see. Things are gonna play out, and my information is telling me, people that I know is telling me that she's, given the circumstances, they're bypassing some of the steps. I'm trying to work what I can. I don't know how much influence I'm gonna have. Look, it's no secret. I'm not a good lawyer, okay? But I'm seeing what I can figure out, at least in terms of being able to get you guys some information.
Right. Right now, I'm just trying to assess how drastic of measures I need to take here.
Look, I had no idea. I just want to make it clear. I'm new to this business, okay? And I had no idea who that man was or anything. And some lessons are learned real hard. This lesson is very hard learned. I won't be dealing with that guy again.
Well, I appreciate that.
But he seems pretty well connected. All right. You're not thinking anything drastic, are you? Because
I'm thinking I don't want my sister to go to the electric chair, no matter whatever it takes.
I hear that, Elric.
Vengeance can wait till later if it's necessary, but I really don't want to get to that point. She wouldn't want me to take it to that point.
I'm gonna see what I can figure out. Okay, I feel real terrible that I put you guys so close to that kind of danger and that I didn't do whatever I could have done to prevent this from happening. Okay,
Fragment, you had nothing to do with it.
I'm supposed to be a certain level of providing distance for you guys and a level of maybe screening. Look, I appreciate
do whatever you got to do to upgrade your security, but don't beat yourself up over it. These guys are bad news, and we hurt them bad.
All right. I'll let you know what I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground and let you know what I find out. Okay.
Right, but hey, look, I need to know about the legal side of this thing. This plays out. What's worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is not a scenario you want to hear, but I'm gonna work what I can to do what I can to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay.
Right. Well, I appreciate that, but yeah, I just don't know what to do right now. But
I'm gonna keep you guys informed. Trust me.
Rick nods. Okay. And I'm sure I'll have more I want to talk to you about later regarding things and plans, but I can't think right now, and I know I shouldn't act right now, so anything I would do right now would involve making things worse, I think.
He doesn't say anything, but the look on his face, he's nodding. He understands, and he's kind of waiting for permission to let the conversation go. He doesn't want to be the one who ends it.
Anyway, give me a call if you find anything out, especially if they're going to be moving her.
Absolutely.
Because if I have to do something drastic, that's probably where I'll have to do it.
All right, he goes.
You let him off, Chummer?
What?
You let him off. You let him away with it?
What do you have to do with it? He just sent us to the meet.
He's a fixer.
Yeah, and he was trying to hook us up with a job. Not his fault it was one of those direct heads.
He's a bad lawyer at best.
Yeah,
he's gotten us jobs before. He's gotten us good jobs that have gotten us paid. And the job we got burned on was not the one he got us on.
Yes, he's a fragging Drekkie fixer. He's not a fixer. I gotta remember it. All right.
He's the best we got. I mean, we're trying to get to know people and move around and things, and he doesn't want to work with these guys anymore. That's a good sign. That's the kind of people we want to work with, not this Snakeoil guy.
You maybe you got a point there. I promise I won't be hard on him. He's got to make this right though, and
he was just used. It's not his fault.
Yeah, we're all gonna make this right.
But don't let him off the hook too easy, because the more work he does for free for us, the better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
As I'm almost broke. I spent all my union on tools and spells, and now I need them for God knows what.
Hey, maybe he'll pro bono your sister's case.
Oh, you're fragging right, he will.
God, you want him representing Danny? No, my dad will get somebody through the foundation or something, I think. Or heck, Frag, maybe a public defender would be a better option that way. I mean, he's a fixer, not a lawyer.
Maybe I can pop some uppers and talk about food.
Of course, he has to hire Shadowrunners to help him cheat his cases, right? So, we don't want him actually representing an actual trial here.
All right,
unless we don't have any other options. But I don't want my parents. My parents, they lost everything the first time around. And legal fees and the suddenly limited career options, the layoff, and they can't financially bear this. I came back to Columbia to help them.
So you come from a big fancy family, huh?
I never thought of it that way at the time, but in comparison to what I've seen since, yeah, I guess so. It was nice. House in the suburbs, good food all the time, having family, transportation, nothing to fear.
I'm getting sick. Let me go get a beer.
Yeah, we grew up good, but they don't have any of that anymore. All the career options dried up.
It sounded wonderful, Elric. Not the time, Eon.
Yeah, well, not her fault.
She doesn't know any better.
I didn't know any better back then either.
Hey, Elric, they let you keep those pictures?
Check my comlink. Anybody hack them off?
No.
Yeah, I got them.
Throwback begins to say send them to me, but kind of cuts himself off. Can I see your comlink?
Yeah, sure. I hand it to you.
I'm gonna send the photos to me via his comlink.
Technically, you probably have 3 marks on my comlink anyway, so
it's a formality.
So are we gonna talk about how we keep in business here and keep making money so that we can do something about Pillar?
Money is the name of that game. We need resources if we're gonna have a chance to do anything.
I look over to Leroy.
Which means we got to replenish numbers as well. We got a whole...
Leroy, you know about heists and stuff, right?
Maybe.
Off a jewelry store or something? Or some other fast money idea that's probably way better than what I can think of off the top of my head?
I mean, we could do something else to find out who this guy works for and send a message back.
What kind of message you want to send back to him?
Depends upon who he is.
Oh, I don't know. I think that'll just make things worse. When it comes to my response, I don't want anything to be seen as something as light as a message. It's got to be smart, and it's got to not be able to reach back on Pillar. But did you have somebody in mind, Payday?
No,
Probably use somebody who can talk better than us. But yeah, you did really well back there. It's too bad we weren't actually doing a real job.
Only because food was involved. Did you hear what I said afterwards? I couldn't even stop it from coming out of my mouth that I said that he was working for a bunch of racists.
Yeah, but you said that at the same time as you were picking out the wine, and it was really elegant.
Yeah, and by that point it was already over. I mean, it wasn't, we knew it wasn't really a job, it was a setup. I thought for a little while we were going to be fighting right then and there.
I know this is not going to be a popular sentiment, but the only guy I know to talk to that is in the shadow business around here, and we got to talk to Rudolph.
Yeah.
With what's going on here, he's not gonna like what just happened to Pillar anyway. But and I know after the whole Haley thing and whatever was going on there, that might not be the happiest option.
Hey, we're not after that.
Right, we're not after that.
What makes Haley different than your sister?
Well, we think she's safe wherever she is. She's not in prison with a death sentence hanging over her head.
No, that's true.
And we have no leads.
Yeah, anyway, the big man needs to know about this.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you can share some resources too along the way.
Yeah, and he knows people in circles. Maybe he can pull some strings or get us intel.
Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed. This show would not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. If you like the show and you want to help support it, then head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting can get you access to GM notes. It can get you the ability to listen to the show live and other sorts of rewards that we like to give out to people. That's patreon.com/complexaction if you want to help out. There were several NPCs and organizations which were provided by patrons of Complex Action early on in the show's development, and in this episode, those were featured. Snakeoil was submitted by jWrex, patron, and BMW by Scott Flowers. Thank you guys for supporting the show. The character art seen on our YouTube page and various other social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork at esbrewerton.tumblr.com. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.